Hi everyone, it's Beth. Thank you for joining me on my channel Unmasking Bipolar. I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about what it means to me to unmask bipolar. I was diagnosed about 5 years ago with bipolar 2 disease. It's disease, disorder. It really is the same thing. People don't understand that bipolar is actually a disease of the brain. It's no different than having diabetes and having to take insulin for it. Well, I have bipolar, so I have to take medication for it so that I could live a normal life. And I hate to even say normal because what's normal? Who defines normal? I can't. But this is bipolar for me. And to unmask bipolar for me means to basically show you what I am without the mask. And what I mean by that is, I'd have to say, I think it was after my third child, so 25 plus years ago, I think that's when I really started to notice that something wasn't right, but I had no idea what it meant and what it was called. And basically, it was deep depression and avoidance of people. If there was a way to avoid a situation, I did it, which was not healthy. And it wasn't healthy for my family either because they counted on me to be there. So before I was diagnosed, I would say I was strong, a good mother, a good worker, a good spouse. I was all those things, but that was with the mask on. So back to when I thought I knew something was wrong. Gosh, it kept getting worse and worse where I didn't want to be around people, especially when the depression was bad. I just would avoid it. And if I couldn't avoid it, I put that mask on and I was so stressed. It is really hard and tiring to keep a mask on, to make everybody think that you're strong and you're funny and you're with it all the time. You've got everything covered. You've got life covered. You've got your kids covered. Everything in your life you're doing, right? And it's hard when you've got that mask on. So I went quite a few years dealing with that, and it's getting worse and worse. And the stress from having that mask on was too much to bear. So 5 years ago, I crashed. The depression was horrible. So at that point, I wanted to take my life. So I attempted. Thank God, didn't work. And then I was told, you have bipolar. I really didn't know what that meant. Given medication, told to get a hold of a therapist and a psychiatrist to deal with the symptoms. And that's what I did. I didn't do any more research. I was ashamed that I had this title of bipolar because I'm like so many other people. When you hear bipolar, you think crazy, you think unstable. And for me to admit it was difficult. I didn't want to do it. So I didn't invest any time in myself. I took the medication. I went to therapy, and I just plugged along. But that wasn't the right thing to do either, because you're still putting that mask on. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just moving on with medication, and that was it. I had no self-care. I was all about everybody else. Like, if you're a mom, that's all you do. So it just got to be too much. So I'd say 2, 3 weeks ago, I had an episode I've never had before. Just obsessive thoughts about something, and it wouldn't stop. And it got worse and it got worse till I crashed again. But this time I did not try to take my life. I just made it really miserable for the people around me. I mean, bad. My husband, I mean, I don't know how he stuck with me, but he did. He's a saint. My kids, all my kids, like that's the hardest part, is to see them get hurt over my episode. So when that happened, I decided that, I'm going to invest time. It's time. Like, the way I was doing it was not working. So I needed to invest time in myself. So I started by journaling, which I like journaling. I've always done it, but I make sure that I take time every single day to do that and do self-care. Going into another room by myself, journaling, listen to music, pray, whatever. It was just my time. And I found that that's been really, really helpful. And I'm also finding different symptoms of bipolar that I didn't know before, that, the lack of research didn't tell me that I suffered with it for so long, like anger. I would get angry about the littlest things, like the house being a mess. One day it wouldn't bother me. The next day, if there was something on the table and I didn't like it, oh, it was bad. Those kind of things, like I had these symptoms and I didn't know how to deal with them. So I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to work on myself. So the point of my channel is to show you how I'm doing it, how I'm progressing through it, how maybe you can take what I've learned and help you. I'm sure everybody in some way can relate to me and what I'm talking about, whether or not you have bipolar, anger issues, trying to deal with that, finding like different tools, taking a deep breath, going out and punching the punching bag, playing drums, anything. So those kind of things I did not have in my arsenal. Now I do. I'm not perfect, but I am trying really hard. So back to what I was talking about, when I had that mask on, I felt like I was a good mother, a good wife, funny. I worked hard. But you know what? Even taking the mask off of bipolar, I'm still those things. I am still those things. But I'm taking care of myself. So that's what I've learned so far. Again, thank you for watching my channel. Hopefully you'll come back and watch my next one. So please take care. I just want to end the video with this. If you're suffering from bipolar, from depression, anything, and you're suffering silently, and you've got that mask on, please reach out to somebody. Find a therapist. Find a good friend. Talk. Reach out. Because you're not alone. There's many people out there that deal with the same things you're dealing with. So reach out, get that support that you need, and live your life happily. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you all.